no. This book was not good. And I started reading that chapter in a different character's POV and I was so confused. I think this is a perfect example of a book that I'm enjoying so much but that won't be a 5-star. Hello everyone and welcome back. So today, this is going to be the start of my very first reading vlog. I don't think I've ever done a reading vlog before. I've done very few book videos on my channel, but I wanted to try my hand at a reading vlog and I thought this idea that I had would be perfect for my channel because for this video and for the next couple weeks, I am going to be reading books with only pink covers. If you have watched any of my videos, if you can see my background, you will know that pink is my color. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Everything in my life is pink and I just thought that would be the perfect little book challenge for us to do for my very first reading vlog. Today is February 4th and I'm planning on posting this video on February 15th, and so we really only have like a week and a half to read and I have 9 books to choose from. So my goal is to get through all of them. However, I am normally like a 1 to 2 book a week person, definitely not a 4 book a week person unless I'm on vacation. I just don't have a lot going on. I normally will only get through 1 to 2 books a week because I'm normally only reading at night. However, I think I'll have a little bit more time to read over the next couple weeks, and so we're just gonna see how many I get through. But I thought that'd be really fun for February, for our Valentine's Day month, to read only books with pink covers for this little bit. So I'm gonna show you the books that I have to choose from and even lift this up. Here is my book stack to choose from. So these are all of my pink books that we are going to choose from over the next little bit to read. I want to say that I did not come up with this idea. I feel like I saw someone else doing this, but I can't remember who it was. So just a little disclaimer, I don't think I'm the very first person to do reading only books with pink covers. I'm also going to try to do this as a non-spoiler reading vlog. I have never been able to talk about a book without spoiling it. I don't know why. I get so involved in the plots of the books that I'm reading that I feel like I have to talk about them as I'm reading about them, but my goal for this video is to have this be spoiler free so that in case you all want to read these books, you can and not have them spoiled for you. In this big beautiful stack I have to choose from over the next little bit, we have 2 romance books, 2 mystery books, 2 fantasy books, a historical fiction, a literary fiction, and a non-fiction. I wanted some variety in the genre because that's how I like to read just in general. I normally switch between genres, and I also know that I read certain genres quicker than others. So a historical fiction or literary fiction are definitely my ones that are a little bit of a slower read for me, and then normally I can fly through a mystery or a romance. And fantasy is that one that's kind of on the cusp for me. If I'm really into the story and there's some good romance in it, I can pretty much get that quickly, but there's a lot of world building and I'm not really connecting with the characters. It can be a little slower of a read for me. So that is what we have. I thought I could just go through my stack and show you the books that we have to choose from. So the first one we have is Dior or Die. This is a Joanna Hayworth mystery. These are fashion inspired mysteries. I have a feeling it's going to be very cozy, a very quick read. It's obviously a very small book. This is definitely the smallest one that I have, and it's only 300 pages. So I think this will be a good one to do in between books. The next one I have is Catherine Elliott, About Last Night. This is a romance about a woman who moves to London, finds herself in ownership of a new London townhouse. However, there is a very hot man already living in the townhouse, so I think we're gonna have a little bit of a roommate trope in this book. I have Love Unwritten. This is another romance. This is the second book in the Lakefront Billionaire series, and this follows Raphael and Ellie, who are 2 characters that we're introduced to in the very first Lakefront Billionaires book, which I've already read and really enjoyed, so I'm excited for this one as well. Even though this one is a big book, I got through the first one in this series pretty quickly, and I'm really interested in these 2 character stories. This is my historical fiction. This is Let's Call Her Barbie by Renee Rosen. Renee Rosen is an amazing historical fiction writer. She wrote Park Avenue Summer, which I read in the summer of last year, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite historical fictions that I read last year, and obviously I'm very intrigued about a Barbie story. So this is about Ruth Handler. This kind of focuses on her journey into creating Barbie, and I just think I'm gonna really enjoy this. The next one that I have is one one of the new releases. This actually released today. This is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. And Sasha Payton Smith is the one who wrote The Witch Haven and The Witch Hunt. This one is a little bit more of a historical fantasy, which normally I'm not into, but I really like the concept of this one. This one is set in England. This particular England is ruled by a queen, and she is fae. And every year through the debutante season, girls come and they make their bargain with the queen, and they bargain for things that'll help them in their debutante season. So they ask for, you know, a nicer nose or better dancing skills or like things that'll get them a husband. And our main character goes into the debutante season like everyone else, but the queen makes a announcement that she is putting her son up for marriage and that he's going to choose a wife from this debutante season. Something went wrong with her older sister's debutante season, and she thinks that becoming the prince's wife, or I guess the new princess, that it will save her sister, save her family from ruin, and so she sets off to make her own bargain. The next one I have is the Cherry Cheesecake Murder. This is the next installment in the Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder series, or the Hannah Swenson series, and this is just a very cozy bakery themed mystery. These are absolutely filler books for me. I enjoy these books so much. They are the most cozy mysteries you could ever read in your entire life. They've actually turned a couple of them into Hallmark movies, and I was so happy that the next one was pink so that I could put this in the mix, because this is going to be the perfect read for in case I get through one of these books and I'm in a little bit of a slump. This will normally get me out of the slump. The next one I have is Camera Girl. This is my nonfiction pick. So this is a biography about Jackie O, but it follows her life and through her early 20s. And she actually worked as a writer in her early 20s. She was the Washington Times Herald's inquiring camera girl. So she took her camera out on the streets of Washington, D.C., and she would take photos of strangers and then talk to them and interview them and write a column about them. And this is about her life during that time. And it has a really cool section of photos of her from that time. So I'm really intrigued by this. I am probably going to listen to this on audio as well. I normally do all of my nonfiction on audio, and I think that'll be a way that we can get an extra book in to listen to it while I'm driving places or I'm doing other things. Normally I go back and forth between the physical book and the audiobook, but I think that'll be a nice way to get an extra book done. I also have Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is again, I think historical fantasy, so it's kind of funny that I picked both historical fantasies. This basically tells the story of 4 people during World Wars I and II, but it's told through the eyes of the Greek gods. So their story is told by goddess Aphrodite. Oh, this is Penguin Teen. Is this a YA book? If this is YA, that's actually going to be really good news for me, because this book kind of intimidates me, but it would intimidate me less if it was YA. So that's exciting. I had no idea this book was YA. I totally thought it was just plain historical fantasy. I am excited to read this. I've had it on my list for a while, and I love this cover so much. And then last but not least, this is my literary fiction. This is another book that just released today. This is called The Snowbirds, and this is about a married couple, Kim and Grant, who have been together for 30 years, and I think we get from the inside flap that they are together but not really together. Like, they're kind of in that monotony of marriage where, you know, they don't want to get a divorce but they're not happy together, and so they leave their Midwestern winter for the hot desert sun of Palm Springs and they become snowbirds. It sounds like they get there and they start kind of doing their own things. Kim immediately embraces the opportunity to make new friends and explore a more adventurous side of her personality. Meanwhile, Grant struggles to find his footing in this unfamiliar landscape. So Grant goes missing while he's on a hike in the Palm Springs mountains, and Kim is forced to consider 2 terrifying outcomes. Either Grant is truly lost, or this time he's really left her. And it's just gonna be really interesting. I've never read a book where the main characters are a lot older than I am, and I'm kind of excited about it. I love this cover so much. It just really intrigued me. When I read the inside flap and what it was about, it was just a really cute concept, and they better be finding love at the very end or I'm gonna be really upset. Those are the books we have to read. We have a week and a half to read all these books. I think realistically I'm probably not going to get through all of them, but I'm going to get through as many as I can, and I'm going to really do my best to talk to you about them and keep you updated as I'm reading them without giving you spoilers. So I was trying to decide what book I wanted to read first, and I think I want to start out strong with a book that I'm really excited about and that I want to read pretty quickly, just like get us started. And so I think I'm gonna start with The Rose Bargain. I've been kind of waiting for this one to come out, and I'm just really excited about this one. So I think we're gonna start with this one. I have a little bit of time to read before I head to the bookstore, and then I'm gonna be reading while I'm at the bookstore too, as long as it's not too busy. And yeah, I will try to update you with how much I get through before I leave for the bookstore. Yay for my very first reading vlog! I'm so excited. I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to do this in an interesting way that you're gonna want to watch, but I hope I can. That is what this video is going to be. I'm really excited for you all to be on this journey with me, my very first reading vlog, first non-spoiler reading vlog. And yes, we are going to crack into The Rose Bargain. The very first word of like the actual start of the book is Lydia. Oh my gosh, the way I just thought the book was talking to me. I have never read a book with a character named after me before. That caught me so off guard. It does not, I guess Lydia is the main character's sister's name, and they don't say that on the like inside flap where it tells you about the book. The way that caught me so off guard. I literally thought the book was talking to me. That's kind of exciting. I've never read a book with a character named Lydia before. Okay, it's a little while later. I am on page 70 and I need to leave it a little bit to go to the bookstore. So far, I mean, to read 70 pages in, I don't know how long that this has been, maybe like an hour or so. I feel like that's pretty good. I am very, very intrigued by the plot, by our characters. I feel like the author is leaving a lot of things unsaid, and so we don't really know fully what's going on, and so little things keep like shocking us. Even 70 pages in, not really I guess kind of a plot twist, but it's just like mini plot twists kind of sprinkled throughout. So very interesting. I really like the concept. Did this say that it was similar to The Selection? I can't remember, but it is giving Selection vibes of like the competition of the girls to marry the prince, which I loved The Selection. I feel like some people didn't enjoy that series, but I personally loved it. I feel like this author has really good descriptions, and so I really enjoy that. But yeah, 70 pages in, I am enjoying it. I feel like I am starting to connect to the main character a little bit. I'm intrigued to know more about the other characters because, like I said, I just feel like there are a lot of things still left to learn about this book and about the other girls, especially who are competing for the prince's hand. I'm intrigued. I'm really excited to read more of this. So far, so good. It's so interesting reading a book about a character named Lydia. It's like kind of weirding me out. I like it, but it's also kind of strange. Lydia is the sister that had the bargain gone wrong, and so her little sister Ivy, who's our main character, is trying to save her and kind of save their family from ruin, because whatever happened with Lydia has kind of like brought their family shame. And so when it says something like Lydia has brought our family shame, I'm like, oh, not the family shame. I hate that. But yeah, it's kind of funny. But yes, I will probably be reading at the bookstore for a little bit. I have some work to do there, but if it's not super busy, I'll be reading there for a little bit, and I will update you after that. Hi guys, it is a lot later now. I'm back home. I finished up at the bookstore and then got some dinner, and now we are back home. I got to page 170 at the bookstore, which I thought was pretty good. I am so into this book. I'm loving it. I feel like it's stacking up to be a 5-star, and I'm scared to even say that out loud because I don't want to jinx it, but so far I am absolutely loving this book. I could not put it down when I was at the bookstore. We did switch out all of our tables today for our pink tables, which was so fun given that this is the pink book video, but I knew that for our front tables, which are our seasonal tables, I wanted to do all pink books for February. I worked on that while I was at the bookstore and obviously like helped customers while they were there, but I was reading a lot of the time. So 170 pages in, I'm loving it so much. The banter between the characters, between Ivy and her love interest, is just so good. I wish I could remember more about this author's writing. Like, I wish I could remember more about the witch hunt and the witch haven because I read them so long ago. I don't remember like details about it or like anything about her writing, or I guess something like stood out about her writing after reading those books, but something about this one is just getting to me. It's so good. I feel like she has the perfect ratio of description to dialogue. There's enough description and enough descriptive and like beautiful language to keep you engaged and to allow you to really see the story, but the dialogue is also really good too. We actually end up getting another character's POV in the book, and it threw me off guard when I first started reading that chapter because I'll show you like the first chapter. So this is the font that the chapters are in, and when it changed POVs, it just, instead of saying chapter 1, it said the character's name in that font, and so I just didn't even pay attention, and I started reading that chapter in a different character's POV, and I was so confused, and so I had to flip back and realize like whose mind we were in and like whose POV we were reading through. And at first I was like, I don't know if I really like this. I feel like it just kind of came out of nowhere. We probably didn't get the first like change in POV until maybe like 120 pages in, and I was like, why are we getting another person's point of view so far into the book? But since then we've gotten 2 more people's point of views, and it's given you a little bit more of a backstory and understanding of why these characters act the way they do, which I've really enjoyed. And yeah, the romance is kind of making me giggle. It's so cute. I guess this is YA, which is so funny that I ended up picking 2 historical YA fantasies. Look, it's such a funny coincidence that I picked 2 pink fantasies, but they are both young adult historical fantasies, and yeah, I'm loving it. I was telling someone today at the bookstore about what I was reading, and I described it as Bridgerton meets The Bachelor, and that is such a good, personally I think, description for what this book is, because you're getting all of that debutante season drama from Bridgerton, but you're also getting kind of like the girlish drama from The Bachelor as well, and I am just loving this. I hope that I continue to love it, and I just like pray this is another 5-star, because to get 2 5-stars into the year, I've only had 1 5-star this year, and it was Onyx Storm, and I was pretty much expecting that one to be a 5-star just because I have so much love for that series, but just to pick up a random book and that be a 5-star, that's really exciting. So I'm definitely going to be reading tonight, and I will probably update you in the morning to see how we're doing. I don't know if I will be able to finish it tonight, only because I have to edit a video to go up tomorrow. Today's Tuesday and my upload days are Wednesday and Saturday, in case you're new to the channel, and I have not started editing the video that's supposed to be uploaded for tomorrow. So I'm unfortunately gonna have to work on that tonight. Not unfortunately, because I love doing it, but I'm at that point in the book where I'm like, oh, I just want to read it because it's so good. So I'm gonna edit for a while, and then I'm gonna read before I go to bed for sure, and I'll check back in tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. It is a very gloomy, cloudy day outside. Mom and I just went and got our nails done. I'll show you, but I want to show you my other hand. I just did OPI bubble bath. I am still trying to regrow my nails after I had my major breakage in, I guess it was November. I was kind of complaining to my mom how I feel like my nails were still so thin, and she was like, listen, it takes a long time for nails to grow back. I wanted to give you a little book update because I'm going to be out and about running errands the rest of the day, but I didn't get a ton of pages read last night. I think I started on 170 and I ended at like 220. I was up late, like I said, editing my video, and so it took me a little while, but I'm just loving it. So we have a little bit of a love triangle going on, and I'm trying to figure out how I think it's all gonna pan out. I feel like maybe one of the love interests is gonna end up being a bad guy, but I can't figure out how we're gonna end it all. I was getting a little bit of like a Powerless vibe, and I really loved Powerless, but I like the Rose Bargain better. I think I like the author's writing better. I reviewed Powerless in some video, and I think I said that I gave it a 4.5 because it was just not quite that 5-star. I didn't get that 5-star feeling, but I am getting it with Rose Bargain, and I really hope it's a 5-star. That would just make me very, very happy. For now, I'm just trying to enjoy the ride. There are probably like 350 pages left, so I'm gonna try to finish it today/tonight and have our first book done. But I'm just loving it. I'm so glad we started out with this one because I'm just enjoying it so much. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to update you about. I'm really enjoying it, and I really want you all to read it too. Yeah, I'm gonna be out and about running my errands on this gloomy, cloudy day. I really wish I was just home and reading for the rest of the day because this would be a perfect reading day, but alas, we have to be out and about. So I will check back in with you I'll probably check back in with you later tonight, depending on how much I get read today. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Hi guys, it is a couple days later. I was sitting here filming my video for this weekend, and I realized that I never ended up updating you on the book. So I think it was on Wednesday when I last talked to you, and I ended up having the worst trouble with my YouTube video trying to upload it in time. It was making me so upset, and I know that's so silly to be upset about, but I could not get my video to render, and then I couldn't get it to export, and then when I uploaded it to YouTube, I had all these black screens on it, and it was killing me. So I ended up putting my video up like literally like 4 hours later than my upload time that I've set for myself is, and so I was just in a state, and I ended up finishing the book that night, but then the next day, which was yesterday, I was so tired because I was done with that video, and I stayed up way too late reading to try to calm myself down a little bit. And so today's Friday. I'm filming my video to be posted tomorrow. I thought we needed to talk about our books because this is a reading vlog, and I have been really bad at updating you for the past couple days. So I did end up finishing The Rose Bargain, and I did give it 5 stars. 5 stars. I have another 5-star read this year. I'm so happy about it. I loved this book. The ending was wild. I did kind of guess a part of the ending, but I think that's only because I read so much like romantasy, and so I just knew that there was going to be something kind of wonky going on with one certain character, and I was right. But that didn't deter me from not enjoying the ending, because there were still certain things where I was like, whoa, there's some crazy stuff going on here. I feel like I've kind of messed myself up because the fact that I'm gonna have to wait probably at least a year for the next one to come out, because this book was literally released on Tuesday and it's Friday, and I need the second one like now. It is just so good. If you all liked Powerless, if you liked The Selection, if you like Bridgerton, if you like The Bachelor, those type of things, you would love this book. Again, the author's writing is so good where it's descriptive enough so you can understand where you are and envision the world, but the dialogue is great, the banter is great, and I actually enjoyed more than I thought I would having chapters in certain characters' POVs, because you really got to know more about what they were feeling and what was going on, and I just really enjoyed this. I cannot wait for the next one to come out. I'm so sad it's gonna be literally forever away. I cannot believe we're starting off this video with a 5-star read, but that makes me so happy. So The Rose Bargain, please pick it up, please read it and tell me what you think, because I loved it. And so I finished that Wednesday night. I didn't do a whole lot of reading yesterday. I ended up starting my second book last night. I only got 20 pages in. So this is Dior or Die. This is the fashion mystery that I had on my list, and I felt like I wanted a little something quick to finish that I could finish quickly. I'm hoping I will get this done either today or at least sometime early tomorrow, because it is a very quick read. I only got 20 pages in, like I said, last night, but because the book itself is so short, there just aren't a lot of words on each page, and the chapters are really short. The book kind of starts out in the middle of the story where you just want to know what's going on and what's going to happen. And yeah, so basically in the first 20 pages we just kind of get what they told us on the back of the book, where Joanna Hayworth, who is a vintage clothing store owner, she is in a bit of a financial trouble right now, and her kind of saving grace is that she is going to bid on 3 trunks of vintage designer clothes from this like high society lady who used to live, maybe she was, I don't think she was a ballerina, I might be making that up, but she lived in Paris, and she even had a Dior New Look dress, which if you know anything about fashion is one of the most iconic silhouettes in fashion, is Dior's New Look that he created after the World War. And it's that really tucked in waist with a really full skirt. It was a very important piece in fashion history, and there's one of those in this trunk. And so take her through the auction, she gets the trunk, but the owner of the clothes ends up getting murdered on the night that she receives the clothes. And so the police take the clothing, and that's just really where I got to last night. So they basically just set up the story like we know from the back of the book, and we will continue to go on from there. I hope I can finish this today/tonight. I've just finished filming my YouTube video, and I need to film a couple of TikToks, and then I really have the rest of the night to kind of do as I wish. I do need to do some editing since that video goes up tomorrow. I don't want to be waiting until the last minute like I did last time, because I just want to make sure that everything is okay, I can get it up on time, and yeah. But I also wanted to mention that I'm going to go ahead and start The Camera Girl on my Audible app. This is the nonfiction that I picked out for us to read for this video. This is a biography on Jackie O's early 20s life, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning of this video, but I personally prefer to do my nonfiction on Audible or on audio. I just find that I can get through them better if someone's reading them to me. And so I went ahead and downloaded this on Audible. I used one of my credits to get it. Well, I thought I did. Oh, I'm on wishlist. I was like, wait, where is that? So I went ahead and downloaded it on Audible. It has a different cover from this one, but this one's pink, so that's all that matters. So basically over the next couple of days when I'm, cleaning my room, or I'm driving, or just anytime you listen to an audiobook, I'll be listening to this, so we can kind of have two books going at once. And yeah, my plan for the rest of the night is to film those TikToks, do some editing, do some reading, and just have a little bit of a chill night. So I will check back in once I have a little bit more read so we can talk more about Do or Die, but so far so good. And that is our reading vlog update. I will try to be better over the next couple days and not go a day without updating the vlog, but yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. Hello everyone, happy Sunday. I had a very leisurely morning this morning. I got up and needed to do some editing, and then I've just been reading for a little bit. I got fully ready because I need to film some outfit TikToks later. If you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, I'm doing a 30-day outfit challenge. I tried to do one twice before, but I'm being very good with this one and hopefully we'll finish it fully. So I have the Instagram that I've had since middle school that has all of my old pictures on it, and then I just started a new YouTube Instagram where I could post more about videos and I could post all my fun little TikToks. And so if you don't follow me, you should. We have lots of fun over there. if you want to see all my outfit videos. I do post them as YouTube shorts too, but I feel like when you follow someone on YouTube, you don't see their YouTube shorts as much, or at least I feel like that. I feel like, one, I just don't watch a lot of YouTube shorts, but also I feel like when I'm seeing them, they're not people that I'm subscribed to. But either way, you should come follow me. My socials are always linked in my description box. Especially if you are subscribed to me mostly because of my fashion content, I think you will enjoy this outfit challenge. But anyway, I need to film my outfit video for today, so that's why I got ready. I am gonna update you on Dior or Die. So I got about 100 pages in. I'm not really sure what to think about this book. So on one hand, I see where this has the potential to be as cozy of a mystery series as my chocolate chip cookie murder series, just because of the small town and the character has a very cute job. She owns a vintage clothing store. I can see the potential. However, I feel very disconnected from the characters, and I think that's because I kind of messed up, and this is actually the second book in the series. I'm not sure if I realized that when I started this or if I mentioned that, but this is the second book in the Joanna Hayworth mystery, and I just decided to read it anyways because I liked this cover the best, and this was the pink cover. And technically you can read this book just on its own because this is very similar to the Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder series, where all of the mysteries encompass one book. So there's one mystery that's happening in this, and it's going to be wrapped up by the end, and that's how the other series is too. So you can kind of pick and choose which ones you read. However, I feel like I missed things in the first book that would make the way that the characters act in this book make more sense. So I feel like there are certain dynamics in relationships that I don't fully understand. Like the main character and her boyfriend, she'll say certain things or he'll act a certain way where she kind of will explain it, but also it just, some of her reactions to the things that he says and vice versa don't fully make sense. And I think that's because we missed, or I missed, that setup in the first book. Because I don't know if they were together in the first book, or maybe they got together in the first book and we can kind of see how that relationship progressed, and that would make more sense in this one. So I feel like that is taking me out of the story a lot because I just don't fully understand the dynamic of a lot of these relationships. Even with her best friend that works at her clothing shop with her, she'll say some things and I'm just like, I don't understand why you're reacting like that. So this could definitely be a user error situation where I should have read the first one first and then gone on to the second one. Again, like I said, you can read the second one first because of the mystery itself is going to be wrapped up in this book, but there are certain plot lines that have probably gone through the story, which is very similar to the Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder series. And part of me feels like I should stop comparing it to that series because I love that series so much, and I was hoping that this one would be similar to it, but it's just, I don't know, it's just not quite giving me what I thought it should. Even like the town doesn't feel as cozy as the town in the Hannah Swenson series, and the characters don't feel as lovable. But again, that honestly could just be because I didn't get all of that build up in the first book. So that's where I'm at in this. I'm gonna try to keep reading today. Today's actually Super Bowl Sunday, which is fun. Always makes you feel very patriotic. However, I really don't care about football, and so I'm probably not gonna watch the actual game. Unless I'm at a Super Bowl party, I don't really watch it. I will watch the opening ceremonies. I love listening to someone sing the national anthem, and then of course I'll watch the halftime show. It's Kendrick Lamar, and I was hoping he was gonna bring out SZA, and I think I actually saw where it's confirmed that he's bringing out SZA, who I love. I really hope they sing All the Stars because I love that song. But yeah, I'm gonna do some meal prepping, and then we're gonna turn on the Super Bowl and just watch a little bit of it. I actually have no idea who's singing the national anthem or who's even involved in the opening ceremony. It's in New Orleans, and so I'm hoping there'll be some sort of jazz music incorporated in some part of it. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go ahead and film my outfit TikTok. I might film another one for tomorrow too, just because I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of filming to do tomorrow, and so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna continue editing a little bit. I will say posting twice a week has been easier and harder in some ways than I thought. Easier for filming, but harder for editing. I feel like I am editing 24/7, and I think it's because I ramble in these videos a lot, and so these clips that I'm editing are really long, and I'm normally cutting them down a bunch because I'm like, even though I think you all enjoy when I just talk to you, sometimes I'm like, okay, this is a little too much, Lydia, let's stop talking so much. So I just feel like I'm editing 24/7, which is so crazy because I'm only putting up 2 videos a week. And I know there are people that put up 3, 4, 5 videos a week, but I had that little snafu with my video last Wednesday. But other than that, I feel like it's been pretty good. I think that's all I have to update you on. I'm gonna film my outfit TikTok. I'm going to meal prep a little bit. I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna continue reading this book. I wish I could say I was more into it than I am, but I'm unfortunately not. Oh well. Guys, good morning. I just finished filming my date night makeup look video, so I have a little bit more makeup on than you're used to seeing me in this video, but I got up early this morning so that I could film this, and I read a little bit while I was eating breakfast, and so I thought I would update you on the book. Like I said, I did not watch very much of the Super Bowl, but I did watch the opening ceremonies and the halftime show. First of all, Lady Gaga singing Hold My Hand in honor of the people that lost their lives on Bourbon Street was so beautiful. I was tearing up the entire time. I just love that song to begin with. My mom and I were obsessed with that song when we heard it in Top Gun for the first time. It was just such a beautiful tribute, and I loved that live version of the song so much. It was just an amazing way to start off the Super Bowl, I thought. And I thought it was really amazing that they also honored people who lost their lives in LA because of the wildfires, and in DC and Philadelphia with the horrible plane crashes. So I just thought it was an amazing way to start off the Super Bowl. It was so beautiful. I really hope she releases the live version of that song because I loved it. I also really loved Harry Connick Jr.'s opening, I don't even know what that was, opening ceremony, opening speech. One thing about me is that I love a brass band, and so all of those people there that were playing the trumpets and the marching band, and they had the all-female brass band, I loved it. I thought it was so fun and such, again, a fun way to open up the Super Bowl. And then I literally didn't watch anything else but the halftime show, and again, loved the halftime show. I am such a big SZA fan. I started listening to her in college. Honestly, now I would say she's one of my top artists. I love her music so much, and I just thought the halftime show was great. I was really hoping that they were gonna sing All the Stars because that's one of my favorite songs that they do together, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. So really great music going on for the Super Bowl. But after I watched that, I did a little meal prepping, and then I just came upstairs to read for a little bit. So I got, I guess, about 160 pages in, and it has taken me so long to get through this, and I feel like if I wasn't filming this video, I would DNF it and come back to it. I just feel like I'm kind of struggling through it. So I stand by what I said yesterday about not feeling very connected to the characters and not really understanding the relationship dynamics. And I think that's really my own fault for reading the second book first. But there's also something with the writing of this book where I feel like the author is trying to use casual language or trying to make the dialogue seem natural, but it's just coming off very unfamiliar, if that makes sense. Like sometimes she'll say something, the main character will think something in her head where I can see what the author was going for by putting that in the story, but it just doesn't land correctly. I wish I could find a real example of this, but one thing that I'm thinking of is the main character is annoyed with one of her friends and she thinks something about her in her head, and instead of it coming off as just like being annoyed at her friend, like, oh, that's annoying in her head, it comes off as like kind of mean and not very, like, I don't know, the main character and her best friend are super close and they do a lot of things together, and her friend said something that maybe I would also be annoyed at, but I definitely wouldn't think these things about my friend in my head, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost like the author takes these, or she tries to like convey emotions, but does a little bit too far. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I just feel very disconnected from the story. I don't even really care that much about the mystery, which makes me so sad because I was so excited to read this book. But yeah, I'm kind of struggling to get through it. I was really hoping that there was an audiobook to this, because that's also my trick to getting through books that I really don't want to read, is just to listen to the audiobook. But I could not find an audiobook on this anywhere, not even like searching it online. So I'm just gonna try to finish it. If I'm not finished with this book by tonight, I'm just gonna stop reading it and start reading another one, because really we only have the rest of this week to finish up some more of the books on my list that I had for this video, and we've only gotten 2 books in. So if I don't finish this by tonight, I'm gonna stop reading it. It makes me sad because I love this cover so much and I love the concept so much, but it's just not working for me. So yes, that's just how I'm feeling. So it's actually earlier than I thought. It's only 11:30 and I don't have to be at the bookstore until 2, and so maybe I'll try to read right now for a little bit too. I need to take some of this makeup off because I don't want to go full glam into the bookstore. I filmed this makeup video, but I did my hair beforehand, and I did start listening to Camera Girl, and I got a chapter and a half in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So that's a better update, is that I'm really enjoying the Camera Girl book. I'm listening to it on audio, which is what I do with most of my nonfiction books. The story is very interesting, and I just love biographies. I love learning about people's lives and like what things happened in their childhood that led them to where they are, all of that stuff, and so I've been really enjoying this one. So that's the update. I actually did take a thumbnail for that makeup video, and so I'm going to try to do that quickly and then read for a little bit. I got up early this morning because I knew that I had a lot to get done today before I went to the bookstore, and I'm kind of feeling like, whoa, I can't believe it's only 11:30. Sometimes I don't even get out of bed until 11:30. I still don't think I'm going to ever be a morning person, but I do feel like my day is going to last a really long time because I've already filmed an entire YouTube video. Yes, I will check back in when I have something else to say about the books. Hopefully we have a better update next time. Okay, I'm off to the bookstore. I have a couple errands to run on the way there. I have a return to do, and then I need to pick up some photos from Walgreens for my photo album. I haven't updated it since I did it the very first time in my, I think it was my snow day video, but I have a couple of photos that I printed out. So I'm gonna pick those up, take my return to UPS, and then we'll be at the bookstore, and hopefully we'll get some reading time in so I can finish this dang book. Everyone, happy Tuesday. I am up early this morning. It is 8:33, which might not be early for some people, but this is very early for me, especially to be fully ready at 8:30. But I am working all day at the bookstore. One of the ladies that works there is on vacation this weekend, so I'm helping mom out and filling in for her. It is so gross and rainy outside. At first I was like, oh, I do not want to get out of bed, but then the more I thought about it, I think it's gonna be so cute and cozy at the bookstore today while it's raining all day. So that's what we're doing today. I did a heatless curling method last night, and I think it actually looks so good. I've done it a few times, and I think this is the best it's ever turned out. Normally, I have issues with a lot of creases right around my hairline. So far, so good. What I did differently was that normally I use this little scrunchie to put it on top of my head, and then you do little pin curls to make a bun around it. And last night I did a really loose like silk scrunchie instead, and I think that really helped the creasing right here. I do feel like it's very flat to my head today. For a pretty easy heatless curling method, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I finally finished Your or Die last night. Thank the Lord. I did not want to DNF this book, but I did not want to finish it or read it more than yesterday. So I finally finished it last night. I ended up reading a ton while I was at the bookstore yesterday, which really helped me because I basically just had 50 pages by the time I got home last night. Y'all, I did not like this book, which makes me so sad. I had such high hopes for this book. I mean, a cozy vintage fashion themed mystery would be totally up my alley, but no. This book was not good. Don't know if I still think that it's just because I didn't read the first one first. I just think it was this plot. The plot made no sense. While I was reading it yesterday, I was getting to that point where you're starting to kind of connect the dots, and the dots were not connecting, and I was like, is this just me being stupid, or is this book not making sense? And I just don't think the book made sense. There were certain things that happened again between the main character and her boyfriend that their reactions were just off the wall. The actual like unfolding of the mystery and the plot twist at the end again didn't make sense. There was nothing dramatic about it. I feel like I can't even call it a plot twist because they were just kind of like, oh, I talked to this guy and this person did it, and that was the end of the book. I feel like there were actions that were taken that were very irrational. I feel like this main character is a very irrational main character. That's a good word to use. She does not make sense. She has no rhyme or reason to her actions. And honestly, neither do the other characters in the book. Everything about this book, I was just like, what is going on? I'm so sad. And I wish I had a better review on this book for this video, but no, I did not enjoy this. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to give this. A 2 just feels mean. Like a 2 is low. I hardly ever give books a 2-star unless I really didn't like it. And I just read a book, I guess last week, that I really didn't like, and I gave it a 2, and I felt good about that rating. This one feels a little more than that book because at least I really enjoyed the vintage clothing parts of this. When she was at the store and she was talking about these vintage clothing pieces that she would find, I enjoyed that part. Should I give this a 3 or should I give it a 2.5? I would maybe like a 2.75, which is getting really specific, but not for me. I'm so sorry to this book. You made no sense, unfortunately, to me, and I was not following. I was not having a good time. Yeah, that's my final review on this book. I'm very sad and disappointed that we did not like it, but you can't like every book you read. So now I'm trying to figure out what book to read next. I feel like I need to get excited about a book. And so my plan was to read About Last Night, the new romance author that I have. But I'm worried, since I haven't read her before, if I end up not liking her, then I'm just going to get into a really bad slump. And so I was thinking maybe I should do Love Unwritten, which is the second book in the Lakefront Billionaire series. And I know that I liked the first one. I gave the first one 4 stars, and I've heard that the second book is better than the first one. And so maybe I should read that. I'm also thinking maybe the Let's Call Her Barbie book could be a good one to read. I'm going to finish getting ready, pack my lunch, pack my bags, and I will see you at the bookstore. We made it to the bookstore. I just opened. No one's in here yet. List for today, or like little task for today. I need to switch out our new releases table. A lot of our books release on Tuesdays, so we have probably 5 or 6 that need to go onto the new releases table. I need to take those books that I'm switching out and shelve them. We got some new bookmarks that I need to put out and sticker with the prices, which I'll show you. They're so cute. And then I need to work on a few social media posts. So that's like bookstore tasks today. And then I obviously am gonna read as much as I can. Like I showed you, I brought 2 books just in case. I'm gonna start reading one. If I don't like it, I'll start reading the other, but that's the plan for today. We also got some new puzzles in. I'll show you those. I'll just do a little bookstore tour, show you all the new things we got in, but that's the plan for today. I'm back home now, having a little snack after dinner. I think I showed these a couple days ago, but I cannot stop eating these. They're the True Fruit freeze-dried raspberries. So I had only ever had the frozen ones, but I saw these and I actually didn't realize that they were freeze-dried. I thought they were the frozen ones and they came in so good. They're the dark chocolate ones. I cannot stop eating them. Had a great day at the bookstore, got all my stuff done, and I got a good amount read in Let's Call Her Barbies. I did bring both to the store just because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to read. I read the first few sentences of the romance book and I think I want to read that one next, but it was 600 pages and this one's only 300 pages, or maybe, no, 400 pages. And so I thought if I could get through this one quickly, maybe that would prepare me for the 600 page one and I could just get through 2 books back to back. That'll be a lot easier than the Dior book. So I got 126 pages in, and I think I could have gotten more in if we hadn't been so busy at the store today, but we had a lot of people in and out. I'm really enjoying it so far. Renee Rosen's writing is just so fast paced. She really knows how to write dialogue and a plot that just really keeps everything moving, and I really enjoy her writing. This is her newest book. It came out, I want to say it came out maybe a couple weeks ago, and it's just the story of Barbie, and I've been really enjoying it. We're kind of into Barbie's making right now, so this is technically historical fiction. It focuses on Ruth Handler, who was the creator of Barbie, and her process of actually crafting and building the very first Barbie. And they talk about certain things in the book that I just would have never thought about, how they had to use a certain plastic and how they came up with her dimensions. And I had read before that Barbie's dimensions are so wonky because it had to look a certain way, and so her head is much larger than normal and her waist is much smaller than normal. And just you kind of see the reasoning why behind these certain things that they decided in this book. And obviously it's fiction, so all of the little like side plots and relationships between the characters might not be totally real, but I think a lot of the Barbie building process is real, because I know Renee Rosen does a lot of research into her historical fiction books. I'm just really enjoying this. I have hope that I'm going to get through at least probably another third tonight, so maybe I can finish the last third in the morning, because I have my morning free tomorrow, and then I'm going back to the bookstore as I always do, and then I'm getting dinner with my sister tomorrow night, so that's fun. That's the update. I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad I landed on this one. Let's Call Her Barbie. So far so good. If you all enjoy historical fiction and you're interested in Barbie, I think you would really like this book. I love Renee Rosen's writing. It truly is so fast paced and she tells stories so well, so I'm enjoying it. I'm just going to read for the rest of the night, finish off my True Fruit. That's it for tonight. I will see you in the morning. Guys, good morning, or actually it's 1 o'clock, so good afternoon. I have just been filming outfit TikToks this morning. I got up kind of early this morning and read in bed for a while, and I never read in the morning, but it was actually so nice. I didn't really have to get up early, and so I just read in bed and it was really nice. And then I just had breakfast, got ready, and then I've been filming and editing outfit TikToks. So I am now 200 pages into the book. Edited my YouTube video that went up today, which was my Vogue Beauty Secrets video. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I'll link it down below. I thought it was so cute. And yeah, so I didn't read a ton last night. I just ended up finishing that video, and then I read a little bit this morning, and honestly not that much to update you on. I'm just still really enjoying it. I think this is a perfect example of a book that I'm enjoying so much, but that won't be a 5-star. I have a feeling this is going to be, unless something drastic happens, I think it's going to be a 4-star. I'm enjoying the story, and I'm enjoying following along the journey of creating Barbie and the challenges they went through and a little bit into their personal lives, but there's not really, I don't know, I'm not emotionally connected to any of the characters, and I think it's just because like we're being told their story in a very historical manner. You can connect to the characters, but not, maybe I can't relate to the characters. I don't know, but I'm just really enjoying it. I love learning more about Barbie. At certain points, I look up to see if what she said in the book was actually true, for something that she added, and a lot of times it is true, and it's just really cool to see how far Barbie has come to the Barbie that we all know and love today. I looked at pictures of the old Barbie, which I had seen before, but it's so crazy to me how much her face has changed, and it's also funny to me how there were two brunette Barbies at the very first toy fair. I assumed that Barbie had always been blonde, and I don't know, it's kind of cool because I definitely did not know that they started out with a brunette Barbie when Barbie is so clearly such a blonde icon. So that was kind of fun. 390 is when the book ends, and so I'm pretty much halfway. I'm hoping to read more this afternoon. I definitely need to edit a little bit. Yeah, I'm really hoping to finish this today. That's my goal. And then I think I'll be able to read one more book and then finish up Camera Girl, which is the book that I'm listening to on audio by the time this video ends. So yeah, I think I said this yesterday, but I drastically overestimated my ability to read so many books in such a short amount of time, especially since I have other things going on. I can't just devote my entire time to reading. So we're not going to finish as many as I would like, but that's okay. I'm going to keep on reading, and I'll check back in. Hi guys, it is much later now. I ended up not vlogging hardly anything today other than when I said good morning this morning. I ended up working on this video. I started the editing of this video and I realized that it's going to be a very big editing job. I already had 2 hours of footage in, and that was only from the first couple of days. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and edit this video today and try to get ahead so I'm not rushing to do it at the very end. And so I ended up doing that. And then my sister actually ended up coming over. And so I spent some time with her. And I did get to read some in my book, but that's why I didn't end up filming really anything else today. I did just wash and blow dry my hair. I am getting my hair done tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm way overdue. And I like to have freshly washed hair when I get my hair done. I actually asked my hairdresser one time which was better, like coming in with clean or dirty hair, because I had heard that if you get highlights, it's better to come in with dirty hair because it kind of builds up. I don't know, it's like not as harsh on your scalp because you have the natural oils already there. And she was telling me that's actually old advice from like the 80s when they used to use a really harsh bleach on your hair when you would get highlights. And she was like, the technology for highlighting has come a long way, but it's not as bad for your scalp as it used to be. So she was saying that it's actually better to come in with clean hair because it makes the color and the highlights go on more evenly, because she said that when your hair is dirty, the color can take less in places that are more dirty and that kind of thing. So now I always go in with clean hair, and so I washed and blow dried my hair so I can be all ready for tomorrow's appointment. So excited. I have that tomorrow morning, but I did end up getting to read a good little bit today. I am now on page 250. There's honestly not a ton to update you on. I still feel like I did when I started. I'm just really enjoying it. I am so much enjoying learning about more of the process behind what Barbie went through to become the Barbie that we know and love today. So the book is told through multiple points of view, and whenever we're in Ruth Handler's point of view, who was like the main creator of Barbie, she talks a lot about how she wanted Barbie to be this symbol for young girls that you can be more than just a housewife and a mother. And again, I feel like I need to say that I know this is historical fiction. I know that some of this isn't true, but I think a lot of it is. And it's just so cool to know that like that's why she created Barbie. She created Barbie to be like an inspiration for little girls, that they could be an astronaut, that they could be a flight attendant or a businesswoman or whatever, and that they didn't just have to be wives and mothers, because that's kind of what the only thing that was on the market was baby dolls, and it just lets you practice being a mother from a very young age. And so obviously we've come a lot farther along as a society than we were in the 1960s when this book is taking place. I think even to this day, so much emphasis is placed on your relationship and motherhood status, and I think Barbie is still such an icon, and she still is like that inspiration that you can do whatever you want to do and you can be whoever you want to be, and it just makes me love Barbie even more than I already did. It's still nice to have the reminder that you can do whatever you want to do, and I'm just loving this book so much. I really am enjoying it. I'm enjoying reading the story. I'm enjoying like getting to know the different members of the Barbie team. I was going to try to go to bed early so that I could get up for my hair appointment, but I think I just really want to finish this book. So that's what we're going to do for the rest of the night. I'm going to read, and then I'll see you bright and early for my hair appointment tomorrow. I'm so excited to get my hair done. That's going to be it for tonight. I'm just going to try to finish this book and go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning, everyone. It's so early, but let's go get our hair done. I just made an absolute mess of my room trying to film some TikToks, but I got my hair done. What do you think? Literally just the same that I always do, but I was very much overdue for a refresh. So it is now 5 o'clock, and I have been trying to film and edit TikTok since I got home. I didn't get home from my hair appointment until 1, and I didn't even finish my book last night, y'all. This reading challenge to read all these books in 2 weeks that part was a fail. I hope this video wasn't a fail, and I hope that it was entertaining, but I didn't finish this one last night, so I'm guessing this will be the last one that we read together, because I still have probably 60-70 pages left on it, and I'm still listening to Camera Girl. So I don't really have an update for you. I didn't end up reading a ton last night. I was trying to edit this video, and then I didn't read any today because I was at the hair salon for so long, and then I filmed and edited TikToks, but I have a really cute one rendering right now, a little Valentine's Day get ready with me. This is going to be the final book we read together. I don't think I'm going to get to Love Unwritten, which is sad, but oh well, we gave it our best shot. And now I know that unless I have significant time to devote to reading, I'm not going to get that much reading done. But I just wanted to update you. I'm going to finish this. I'm actually going over to my grandparents' house tonight to have dinner with them, so I'm going to finish this one tonight. I'm going to try to finish Camera Girl tonight / tomorrow, and then we will have our final wrap up tomorrow, which is Valentine's Day. Perfect day to end the video on. So for now, I will say goodnight, and I will see you tomorrow. Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day! I love Valentine's Day. I love love. I love pink. It's such a pink, love-filled holiday. I just got back from my grandparents' house. I spent the night with them last night, like I said, and we ended up watching the last 2 episodes ever of Blue Bloods, the TV show with Tom Selleck. We have watched all 14 seasons of that show together, and so it's really become our show, and we were so sad when we found out that it was canceled, and I just couldn't wait to watch the last 2 seasons of the last 2 episodes with them. So it was a very bittersweet moment because we completed a series together, but we were so sad that it ended. But but that was a very fun but bittersweet moment to spend with them. I am about to start getting ready and head out on my Valentine's Day plans, but I had to update you for our last book, Let's Call Her Barbie. I truly enjoyed this book so much. I finally finished it and I just loved it. So at the end of the book, it has an author's notes and then a little page. It's called Take Your Toys and Go Home. I don't really know why she called this page that, but basically it goes through all of the main characters in the book and tells you what happened to them in real life. So it's kind of the epilogue and it shows how the characters' lives ended up turning out. It also tells us that one of the characters, Stevie Klein, was actually a fictional character that she added to the story, and then the actual author's note goes through and really kind of separates fact from fiction at the end of the book, different aspects of the book, and tells you which parts were confirmed true, which parts were based on real things but are still kind of controversial or still kind of unconfirmed, and then certain things that she added for, you know, creative touches and what she took creative liberties on. And I really enjoyed that. I don't normally read author's notes, but I'm glad that I read this one so you could see what all was actually real and what all was a little bit, you know, she took liberties on. And then one of my favorite parts was that at the very end of the book, she included photographs of old Barbie. So this was the very first Barbie with her swimsuit that she was introduced to the toy fair in, and then this was the wedding dress that she had, Barbie and Midge. She has all these beautiful, like, were some of her cocktail dresses, and I'm so glad that she included that. I was not expecting that, but that was probably one of my favorite parts of the book, was learning a bit more about her outfits and how they came to be. And yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed this book. Again, if you have any interest in Barbie and you enjoy historical fiction, I think you would really love this book. There's a quote in one of Stevie, who is the fictional character that Renee added to the story, who she added as Charlotte Johnson's basically assistant, and Charlotte Johnson was the main fashion designer for Barbie. And in one of Stevie's paragraphs, she's talking about how Stevie envies the little girls that get to play with Barbie and how they get to escape into Barbie's perfect world where nothing ever goes wrong. And then she says, Stevie decides that grown-ups need their own Barbie dream world every bit as much as children do. And I think that is the allure of Barbie, and I think that's why even as an adult I still watch those old Barbie movies, because one, it is so nostalgic, but two, it really is just like you get to escape into a perfect world. And as much as Barbie is a symbol for the world is your oyster and you can be whoever you want to be, it's also such a nice world to escape into. Yeah, I just really loved it. It really made me happy reading more about the creation of Barbie and learning more, especially about the fashion part of it. Thoroughly enjoyed this book. I'm glad that we ended on a good note. I am sad that we didn't get through, we only got through 4 books out of the 9 that I had. That part of the video was a little bit of a fail. I hope you all will forgive me that I only read 4 books. Oh, I did finish Camera Girl. That's the 4th book. Loved Camera Girl. Oh my gosh. Such an interesting part of Jackie Kennedy's or Jackie O's life that I had no idea about. I always love a biography. I just think it's so interesting to learn more about a person that you've known about and learned about in history, about their real personal lives. And so loved Camera Girl. If you like nonfiction and you're interested again in Jackie O, definitely pick up Camera Girl. It's a really interesting part of her life that I enjoyed learning more about. Yeah, so we read 4 books out of 9. Didn't really even make it to half. Almost half, I guess. If there was a book on the list that you were disappointed that I didn't get to and that you would be interested in seeing a reading vlog on, I would be happy to make another just like 1 book reading vlog or try to do this again. I learned a lot from this video that I don't have as much time as I thought to devote to reading, that I still have other things going on. And it's so funny because I will see book influencers say, you know, don't compare your reading to mine because this is my full-time job and I have, you know, the whole day to devote to reading sometimes. And that really rang true for me in this video, because as much as I wanted to just like dive into these books and read as much as I could, I still had other stuff going on, so I couldn't get everything done that I wanted to, but it's okay. I, again, will be happy to make another reading vlog if you have a recommendation or a suggestion that you wanted me to read from that very first list. Yeah, I'm happy with the 4 books that we read. We had, I mean, starting out this video with a 5-star was so fun. I loved the Rose Bargain Do or Die. I think that's really also what got us, because it took me so long to read that book and I just could not get through it. So that was a bit of a bummer, but I did really enjoy Let's Color Barbie and Camera Girl, so I'm glad I ended on those 2 books. And I think that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. This is gonna end up being a long one, I think. This might end up being my very first over an hour long video, which again is kind of exciting. If you all liked this longer form content, if you liked hearing me ramble about books, let me know and I will be happy to make more videos like this. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you all have an amazing Valentine's Day full of lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!